we were talking about many hospitals detaining bodies in their premises. And the judgment which was passed last week has seen a rise in number of hospitals being sued to release the dead bodies. So now there is no time you will see dead bodies being used as collateral for people to pay bills. And there's the Nigerian general who has been in Kenya and who died in one of our favorite hospitals here was actually forced. The hospital was forced to release the body of the Nigerian. And so things are happening. A lot of things are happening. We'll also touch on where is His Excellency or Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga? What's going on in that area? Because there's a lot of talk about Raila Odinga. Some people are saying the good old man is not well, and others are saying, umesikia wapi? Ulisikia wapi? So we will unpack that. And of course, there are many other things like Ruto trying to bribe you with Nyota. This week, something unfounded started in Commander's Church. And Commander, Pastor Nganga, was seen in a clip which is circulating in the social media, confessing, allegedly saying that he and 8 others raped a woman in his heydays as a robber. And this thing shocked me because we know the commander always says things which are extraordinary, but this one was a little bit controversial. And the controversy is that it sounded like a confession, because the good commander says that together with 8 others, they raped a woman. And I don't know whether you saw that clip. It is, first of all, not only shocking, but distressing, because rape is a serious criminal offense. And this cannot go unanswered, please. Because if you confess that you have raped someone and you are 8 others, even if it was in the past, the justice must, there's always space for accountability, and people should be accountable for the deeds they did or what they had even engaged in, because you cannot just wake up and say that me and 8 others, we raped a woman. Rape is a serious crime. It's traumatic for many people, and it is never funny. I don't know whether the good church or man of God really distinguishes between these conversations, because it is easy to slap someone in your church. It is easy for him to say, I will charge you per hour, because even in matatus you pay, but you cannot just wake up one day and claim that you and 8 others raped a woman, and that goes unanswered. And this should not be let just to go that way. Bishop Nganga should be held accountable for this, because you cannot, in all honesty, you just cannot, because it is sad. And people are talking, people are saying that I hope that justice catches up with him. Fate has taken a winding path, but it will always meet you. And then there's there's a lady said called Njeri Wamigwe, who says Pastor Nganga on his pulpit stating casually how he had and 7 others raped a woman. This is not okay. This is not unanswered. Please do not say it is in the past. So the question I wanted to ask you guys, are you liable to all the things you did in the past? For sure, rape cannot be exempted for what you did in the past. And yesterday I was with my good friend Bishop Muredi of House of Grace, and we was talking about the hypocrisy and how Kenyans are hypocritical in how they deal with issues. Do you think Pastor Nganga should be held accountable for what he has said in that clip? What is your take? Because I think you cannot just casually say, I raped someone and 8 others. You do not know the fate of that woman, the traumas she has undergone all those years. and whether she got counseling to recover from all that bad ordeal, it is not one of the fine, good things you want to hear. And I think our preachers are getting overboard. I think the microphones are just on, and they say things which should actually never be said. And I don't know who will be guiding them on the principles of conversation and talk and etiquette and all this, because there's some things which people say as if they are confessing or ushuhuda in church, which are basically criminal and should be charged. So what is a thin line between confession, or what you call in your local churches ushuhuda, and what is criminal? So for bishop or pastor, the commander, before he goes to Seattle, I remember when he was singing at Mimi Ninaeda Seattle, Dinaeda Seattle. My friend, you must be held accountable for what you do, because it is not right to confess that you raped a woman with 8 others in the past and accept that we will clap and smile and shake your hand and say it was all right. Oh, it is something criminal. You have to be accountable and let justice take its usual course, and for you to explain to us better whether you're saying it in jest, or are you just saying it because of the spur of the moment, or that you're coming out clean. And so now Wamatangi is in Kiambu, the Kiambu governor. In the last 140 days, Kiambu hospitals have been undergoing a serious strike, and 137 kids have died in the span of 127 days. We said that last week. And it's because of lack of payment, and the many hospitals have been neglected, especially Kiambu Level 5 and Thika hospitals, where people are being turned away and people are dying there. And kids have died. I said 137 kids died in 127 days, which is very sad. Now today, the good governor, I don't know, is it the good, the bad, or the ugly governor? It's a choice to make anyway. The good governor is now telling us, instead of paying the doctor, is saying that Kiambu ECD learning centers are going to construct swimming pools in the ECD centers, Wamatangi. Here, that Kiambu is inviting tenders so that in this financial year, they will start constructing of modern swimming pools in the ECD centers to boost confidence and life lessons in those children. Kiambu, first of all, is a very cold area, especially my backyard in Limuru, extremely cold. Why are you building swimming pools in Kiambu and cannot basically pay for the doctors so that the kids who are dying because of lack of medication can be treated? Is it just madness? What is it with Wamatangi? What is your take about that Wamatangi's position that he has seen he wants to rival private schools? Now he wants to build a swimming pool in ECDs. And that is with the county finances. But Kiambu is always very interesting. First of all, who is Wamatangi? Did you know that Wamatangi was not called Wamatangi? He was known as Paul Kimani Joroge. And the guy acquired a new identity when he got into politics. While he was living in the UK, this guy, Wamatangi, the governor, had another identity. And he was alleged engaged in various underground activities that led him to faking his own death. And when he faked his own death and he shook off the police from his tail, the gentleman we know as Wamatangi arrived in the shores of this country and decided to take politics like fish in water. And remember Kiambu, hata nyinyi watu wa Kiambu, surely, what's wrong with you? Why do you always pick some questionable characters? Before that, Kiambu had a governor known as Clifford Waitito, Baba Yao, the gentleman is cooling his heels somewhere in prison for actually robbing the county dry. So now you eject a thief and you put someone who now wants to build. And Wamatangi now is building swimming pools. The other guy was rehabilitating drunkards in Kiambu. I don't know where that project reached. You Kiambu guys tell us what happened with Babayao's project of rehabilitating drunkards in Kiambu and giving them something to eat. It's madness. So now, this Kiambu is the only county where the people they have picked as their governor have the most questionable characters, apart from Nyoro, the one who became a governor in between. The rest, Nima gangster. Total gangsterism in that county. But we are telling Wamatangi, surely you cannot build what you call as swimming pools in ECD centers, yet kids are dying in hospital. What are the priorities, surely? Give us feedback what you think about this story of Kiambu building ECD, swimming pool ECDs, and all that. And kids are dying in hospital because of doctors have not been paid. Is Wamatangi doing the right thing? What is your take? And away from Wamatangi, I was talking about another interesting thing which happened today is that, and this happened in LD. There's a gentleman, KTN ran a story of a couple of 2 years ago, and it was this gentleman known as a 99-year-old gentleman who married a 43-year-old lady. He's called Mzee Butuk. Mzee Butuk has sadly passed on today in the afternoon. And Mzee Butuk has passed on 2 years after the wedding to the 43-year-old lady known as Alice Chemeli. And the Batuk was known as Johanna Maritime Batuk. And the lady is saying that they dated before getting married for almost 20 years. They were girlfriend and boyfriend. Johanna met this girl when she was 19 and he was 70, and love blossomed. Now they got married 2 years ago in 2023, and now sadly the gentleman has past 102 years old and has left Gemeli. Now Gemeli is saying that I do not want to be remarried again. I don't want to start attracting other men out there for the respect of my late husband. We will never betray him by remarrying. I will not betray him. I will stay home and take care of the children. This is very interesting. In the last 2 years, the couple has had a very interesting and hundreds of visitors visiting them in Soy B in LD, where this old man married a sweetheart, a young lady. Do you think there's an age gap in marriage, ladies and gentlemen? What is the age gap between a husband and wife? What is the best age gap? And are you dating an older person or are you dating an older woman? I've always seen my good friend Esther Musila complaining that people are talking nasty about her and guardian angel. And Esther is around 50 and Esther is still young. I don't know why people have these issues of ageism when it comes to people getting married to older women. Or do you think it's fair for older men to marry younger women and it is unfair for younger men to marry older women? What's your take? It has been very interesting to know that Esther Passaris is now calling for the arrest of Bishop or Pastor Nganga because of that comment he made about raping, being involved in gang rape some years ago when he was still a gangster before he was jailed. And it's been raised in Parliament, so it looks like the politicians are not going to let Pastor Ngang arrest today because they're saying everyone should be accountable to the deeds or what he did, and it seems that Nganga's goose is now seemingly cooked in Parliament. But I don't know what you think about it. For me, I would say Nganga is trying to say things which are not really relevant at this time. So he should just continue with preaching and forget about things he did in the past. Sometimes that excitement is too much. Gor Mahia captain Austin Odhiambo is back in the fold. The star boy of Kenyan soccer, Austin Odhiambo, has been recalled for the national team duties after being dropped in the previous fixtures. And what does McCarthy say about the talented midfielder and the midfield maestro from Gor Mahia? He says, I think he got the message. He's worked hard and played every single game for his club and earned captaincy. I'm very pleased for the boy, and hopefully he can continue on the same path. He was an important member of my Chan 24 squad, but nobody is bigger than the team. The message for Austin should be that he should always know nobody is bigger than the team. And I like Austin, man. Austin is super talented. He's a guy who can link up play beautifully, and he needs only to work on his attitude. I think sometimes these talented players have a bit of attitude problem, and that's what he needs to fix. And I think he'd be good to go. And if he fixed the attitude, I think Austin would have been playing in the other top players who've been hired to play for other teams, like Ominja, who went to Tunisia, and of course Ryan Ogam, who went to Austria because of exemplary performance, but also because of discipline and how they take the team. Also, another interesting thing about Harambee Stars this week is that Harambee Stars captain, of course, Michael Olunga. You know Michael. If he scores in this match against Ivory Coast, and Coach Benjamin McCarthy says that football is played on the field, he does not have any favors to hand over to the Ivorians. So if Michael Olunga scores in the upcoming match against Cote d'Ivoire, then he will be Kenya's top goal scorer, because remember, Michael Olunga in his time in Harambee Stars has scored 34 goals, same as my good friend Dennis the Menace Oliech. So if he scores 35, then he'll equal the record goal scoring. And if he scores more, he'll be the all-time Kenyan's leading goal scorer. So I think we wish our captain, Michael Olunga, engineer something good. And funnily enough, his strike partner will be a player who made a debut from his Mofa team, Michael Olunga Football Academies, has been called to the national team. So it's interesting to see how he teams up with his former employee. So it's interesting that, of course, football is coming back, and it's in the national football. Harambee Stars. Of course, international football players also are going to be engaged in many matches over the weekend. So it's the Premier League takes a break. So when it comes to the international week. By the way, in Luanda is the only place, and I don't know why. Is it true that many people in Luanda town, there are more madmen in Luanda town than any other center in Kenya? If you come from Luanda, please hit us with feedback. Luanda market, just after Maseno, is a very small epicenter. There are so many guys who are mentally challenged there. What could be the issue? Is it true, or what wanaonea? You know, sometimes people say things which are not true.